Father God. We ask that this is a penetrating word that they can apply it to their life at this time, Father God. And so we love you and we praise your name. Amen.
Amen.
The title for the message this week that I'll be presenting is Jesus and Jonah.
Amen.
The parallels and the lessons. And so I'm going to be going through a few scriptures, so you don't have to turn, but one of the main ones that I'm going to be talking about is going to be in Matthew 12.
Read that last night.
And it's going to be verse 38 through 41.
All right now.
Then some of the Pharisees and teachers of the law said to him, "Teacher, we want to see a sign from you." He answered, "A wicked and adulterous generation asks for a sign, but none will be given it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. For as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of a huge fish, so the Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The men of Nineveh will stand up at judgment with this generation and condemn it. But they repented at the preaching of Jonah, and now something greater than Jonah is here."
All right now.
And so, when I was reading that, I felt like I missed something.
Yeah, come on now.
Because we all know about the story of Jonah.
Yeah.
But I felt like when he said it again, it's something that I needed to revisit, or something that I needed to be able to go back and really see exactly what was going on, that it was going to be greater.
All right.
And so in this, we see that it says that it is going to be something is greater than Jonah. And so with that, if we move over a little bit further to Luke 24 and 25, Jesus says, "O fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Ought not Christ to have suffered these things and to enter into his glory?" And we move to verse 45, and he said unto them, "These are the words which I spake unto you, while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses, and in the prophets, and in the Psalms concerning me." So again, when I read it made me feel like I had missed something, because it's something that happened in the Old Testament that was concerning the life of Jesus that is important, that we need to be able to revisit.
All right.
So if we go back to the story of Jonah, one of which many of you are familiar with, we find a man who got the call from God.
Right.
And Jonah did what many of us do
Come on now.
when we get the call.
You better come on.
I'm not going to be much in scripture, but if we just look at Jonah 1, it says, "Now the word of the Lord came unto Jonah the son of Amittai, saying, Arise,
Yeah.
go
Jesus.
to Nineveh, that great city, and cry against it, for their wickedness is come up before me." Verse 3.
Yeah.
But Jonah rose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare and went down to it to go with them from the presence of the Lord.
Come on now.
You paid the price to be able to leave from the presence of God.
Yeah. Come on now.
And so what will happen is that you'll be able to go to certain places, and people will know that you're not from there, but they will allow you to be with them in that moment. Come on. All right. Until some things start to happen. Now, when some things start to happen, they got some questions for you. So if we go down a little bit further, go down just a little bit further. It says, "The Lord sent out a great wind into the sea, and there was a mighty tempest in the sea, so the ship was likely to be broken."
Yeah.
At this time, we move down to verse 5. It says, "But Jonah had gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, 'How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us, so that we will not perish.' Then the sailors said to each other, 'Come, let us cast a lot to find out who is responsible for this calamity.'
Yeah.
They cast a lot, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, 'Tell us, who is responsible for making all this trouble for us? What kind of work do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country?
My
From what
God.
people are you?' Now questions.
Come on now.
Because we was in our own mess before you got here.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
now that you here, your mess didn't mess with my mess. So now I got some questions because I'm going to need you to take your mess and get off my boat. I got enough of my hours. You came.
Come on now.
You done gone.
Yeah.
You got to go.
We're here.
We got to boot you off here.
So,
You got to go.
now with this, they said call on your God. So even in the midst of everything, they understood that what they were doing
Come on
to
now.
try and solve the situation was not working.
Yeah. Come on.
And so they realized that they
Yeah.
needed to be able to call on a higher power to be able to resolve it.
Come on now.
And so with this, with Jonah, even in his mess, this is lesson number 1 for anybody who's taking notes. God will still use you to be able to save other people.
Yeah.
And so here we are, Jonah is in his mess. He's trying to flee from his mess.
Yeah.
However, he has the ability to be able to save
Still.
the other sailors on this ship.
Still.
So even in that, God still gets
The
the glory.
You better come on.
Now, later on in the text, Jonah confesses and tells the men that he is the reason that they are having the issues and says, throw me over the ship.
Jesus.
Raging water.
Can I ask a question?
Come on now.
You ever been in your mess? You like, all right, Lord, just give me a timeout. I'm going to go put myself in timeout. I'm going to just go over here.
Yeah.